أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وحبيبنا وطبيب قلوبنا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المظلومين. أما بعد، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كلامه: فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. وأيضا قال الله سبحانه وتعالى: إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. وقال سرور كائنات رسول أكرم صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن الفتنة تجيء فتنسف العباد نسفا وينجو العالم منها بعلمه. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله الكريم. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. My dear respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another session of Quranic studies or Danistani Hai Kalamullahi Majid. As you know, Alhamdulillah wal Mala, in this program we show some reverted Muslims clips, and you know our focus is on brothers and sisters who are very educated. Our focus is on priests, scientists, doctors, engineers. So inshallah rahman, today the same thing, that every week we show one of our beloved brothers and sisters a clip. Today inshallah rahman, we will show you one of our beloved brothers whose name is Brother Ruhullah Jannati. So in case if he is watching our program, I congratulate him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him inshallah rahman more strength to be inshallah role model for other brothers and sisters. So today we will show you one of the opposite of his clip, and inshallah rahman next week and maybe in 3 more weeks we will finish a story of this brother. So inshallah today we will like all of you brothers and sisters to watch this clip, and I request from all of you to provide or prepare the environment inshallah rahman at your home. If there are some kids who are yelling or playing, ask someone to take care of them in another room, and ask your youth, our brothers and sisters, to come inshallah and watch this story of our Muslim brother. So he actually reverted from Hinduism to Islam, and he is an engineer, and his major is computer science. And alhamdulillah wal minna, he read the book of Malcolm X. And as you know, Malcolm X's book is very beneficial, and a lot of youth I know, they read it. So this is called Sadaqatul Jariyah. So for Malcolm X, whoever reverts Islam, alhamdulillah wal minna, he gets the reward too. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all weaknesses or sins of Malcolm X too, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength or tawfiq to work harder and write some books or leave something which can be sadaqatul jariyah or ilm al-nafi' or awlad al-salih. So inshallah, I don't want to take much of your time. Please watch this clip carefully, and then after we return back, we are in Suratul Qari'ah. Al-Qari'atu mal-Qari'ah. And inshallah ar-Rahman, I will explain all the hijjah part, the tajweed rules, the difference between Quran Sharifs which are printed in in Arabic countries or non-Arabic countries. So inshallah, and I would like you to participate and call and recite for us the short surahs we have over here, the ayat, and inshallah ar-Rahman, you can inshallah read it for us. So watch this clip inshallah, and we will be back. Jazakumullah khair.
My name is Ruhollah Jannati. I was born and raised in near Chicago, Illinois, and I moved out here about 9 years ago. They're originally from Gujarat, India. Basically graduated out of college in 2003, and then moved to Florida. Computer science. It's not bad. It pays the bills. My family background is this. Like, my father basically emigrated from India since he came here in 1971. So he's been here quite some time. And my mother came a few years after in 1976, and a year later I was born. Right? No surprise. But I grew up primarily in the suburbs of Chicago. Went to elementary school, high school, and I have one. Well, I have one. Let me start back. I went to, went to school. I have one sister. She's 5 years younger than me, and then went through high school and college at Loyola University. Majored in pre-med at first, but did computer science. Found out that that was a better fit for me, and I work as a software developer. Home is always going to be home. Chicago was where I grew up. I mean, you miss certain things about where you grew up, obviously, with most people, but then, there are certain things that you do like about your new home, For instance, there's no snow, and it's just a lot nicer in terms of, the things that you do outside. My parents were Hindu. They, I wouldn't say they were real religious Hindus, but they were Hindus. And I was raised as a Hindu. You could say I was kind of practicing to some extent. I felt like if you're going to follow something, then you follow it, So I tried to learn about it and see what I could do to become a better Hindu. That's pretty much where I was at. Well, actually, I started to, I basically came across Islam when I was 14 years old. It was the first year of my high school, and interestingly enough, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X for a book report that I had to do at school. So it had to be about a biography, and a guy with the last name of X seemed interesting to me. So I read the book, and that had a profound impact on me in the sense that, it gave me a lot of insight to the African American struggles, the oppression that they've they've endured. Also, I mean, just the fact that, you know, you understand certain things about, like, some of the problems in society that we have here, the inequality, the inequity. And, you know, I guess it was something that kind of weighed on me at the time, you know. But I guess his life and his example, the way he stood up for things was something that impressed me. And, you know, I started to look more into Islam after he went to Mecca and Hajj. And actually, the whole trip about Hajj really kind of opened my eyes about Islam. I really didn't think much of it before, but it seemed like a lot of the things that he was saying in his book seemed something that I already believed in. You know, it wasn't something that I needed to be convinced about. It was randomly selected. Well, it wasn't randomly selected. It was sitting on the shelf, and this seems interesting, so I picked it up and I read it. I guess, yeah, it may have been destiny. I mean, whatever you want to call it, but it was sitting on the shelf and I picked it up. Well, practicing is kind of I mean, it's really a relative term in Hinduism because it's not really defined. It's not really well defined. It's really more of a loose collection of beliefs and practices, you know, and they could vary from region to region. It's a general term that describes a group of people from a particular area, all right, specifically the Indian subcontinent, all right. But, you know, so practicing was a relative term. I mean, you know, so you could say that, like, I mean, you know, at the risk of, you know, I can't say that, like, my parents were, like, really practicing. You know, like, for instance, they ate meat and whatnot, you know. I mean, it's not like necessarily against Hindu law to eat meat, but, you know, it's just something that you really shouldn't do. And there's a societal taboo that, well, if you eat meat, you're kind of looked down upon. It's you know. So, you know, I actually, when I was younger, I figured that if we were following this, then we shouldn't eat this, you know. I guess maybe I was young or whatever, you know, but I felt like it was important that if you're going to follow something, then you should adhere to what you claim to follow. I mean, it just makes sense, you know. But, you know, my parents were, I mean, they were Hindus. I mean, they were, I guess you could say, cultural Hindus, you know, and they, I guess you could say that, you know, they really kind of didn't want me to go off on the deep end, as you could say, even with following Hinduism, you know. So I wouldn't say I'm a religious person, or I was a religious Hindu, but I knew I had to follow it, you know, at that particular time. Well, we didn't go every week, I guess, you know. And I guess that's probably part of the upbringing. I guess we went to the temple on several occasions. I mean, you know, and I remember growing up. I mean, there's certain different movements that happen within Hinduism, and it's hard to pinpoint what exactly Hinduism is because, you know, there's wide. Yeah, I guess there's a wide spectrum of what is considered real Hindu thought versus, you know, what's outside of the fold of Hinduism. It's just very broad and liberal in how it describes itself. So, you know, I remember going to, my parents took me to some class every Sunday because they decided to go to listen to some lecture of some Hindu scholar or what, you know, and and they were listening to lectures of him, and, you know, they had classes for children, and, you know, I ended up in that class at that time. Well, I was 10, so I think part of it was I had to go, you know. But I did start to, read up on things, started to learn about, from, I would say from 10 to, I would say, well, maybe from 12 to like maybe till about like, high school. I would say that, my parents would take me to school. Obviously, I was responsible for her. Basically, I was driven there, so I had no choice in the matter. It's not like I could stay home. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say now. I mean, looking back on it, I'd probably stay home. But at that particular time, usually like in the Indian culture, if your parents tell you to do something, you got to do it. Otherwise, you face the consequences, whatever those consequences might be, and they weren't good, So, it's kind of hard to say whether it was through choice or, as an Indian in this country, you have, your set of school friends that you hang out with, that you see every day at school, and then, then the parents have their own social circle, of their friends, and then they would have kids, and naturally you would hang out with their kids, So, there were two sets of social circles, and sometimes you would have some overlap, but not, in my case there wasn't much overlap. So, essentially, with the friends that I had at school, religion really didn't matter. You just talk about stuff, that, oh, well, what movie did you saw, or did you see The Simpsons last night, or, stupid stuff like that, and even with the Indian friends that you do have at school, or outside of school, right? It's a little bit more, it's a little different than the friends that you have at school, because obviously there's a shared culture, so you joke about certain things that you have, like, for instance, your parents, or what, there's a certain culture that you share, right? So, you're able to open up a little bit more in that regard. Well, I didn't have any Muslim friends at all. No Muslim friends. My dad had one Muslim friend when he was, I think when he first came here to this country as a roommate, but I think that was a long time ago. And but I really didn't know many Muslims, and we, pretty much anyone who I knew that was of Indian background was primarily Indian and Hindu, or they weren't Pakistani, or they weren't Indian or Muslim. So I was exposed through Islam. And there were like outside of what they teach you in school about just like the basics of Islam, like the 5 pillars and whatever. There was that media bias that was there, and my initial understanding of Islam based on that media bias wasn't very positive. The exposures through media wasn't good. I think what was it? It was late 80s, 90s. So there was like like around that time there you'd watch the news or whatever, and the impression that you get of Islam is it was. It's not much different than it is now, really. Because at that time you had the revolution in Iran going on, and also other things that were happening during the early 90s, like the first World Trade Center bombing. So it was negative, and so you obviously you pick up on that negative vibe, when you don't really know much about it. And then obviously growing up, I mean, usually within, I mean, the way I felt, you know, in the Gujarati community, if you're basically from Gujarat, I mean, there aren't many Muslims there to begin with. So you have kind of like, you know, like the little racial quips that, you know, your uncle would say about Muslims and stuff like that. And that also kind of affected my perception about what Islam is, you know. Oh, you know, these Muslims, they're dishonest and whatever. You know, I mean, you hear that, you know, so because you don't have anyone else to look up to, you listen to them. I mean, you know, whether you be your, you know, to the people around you. So, I mean, that also shapes your understanding and what you know of. Well, I think it's important to understand who Malcolm X is and why he's important.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajal faraj al-sharif. I hope, my dear brothers and sisters, you enjoyed the story of this brother, and it's getting more, inshallah rahman, interesting. More interesting, inshallah. So next week, inshallah, we will show the second part. And anyway, so we go back to our Quran Sharif session. So today we explain, inshallah rahman, Surah Al-Qari'ah. But before that, let's, inshallah, sincerely pray. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma akhrijni min dhulumati al-wahm wa akrimni bi nur al-fahm. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى بيته الطيبين. So before anything, let's put تعوذ or استعاذة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So this أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, as you see, there is a ta, very important, shaytanir rajim. Some of our students say rajim. So there is no shadda on the top of jim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And then we have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So let's, inshallah, go to Surah. I request from my dear brother to show the ayat on the screen. So inshallah rahman, you can see them. Then we will أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. See, there is no shadda over here on the top of jim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So the ayah that you see over here, Al-Qari'ah. Look at, inshallah rahman, this one. Al-Qari'ah. Al-Qari'ah. This is Hamzatul Wasl. This is Hamzatul Wasl. So always when you see Hamzatul Wasl, Alif Lam, you put Fatha over here. You can say Il Qari'a or Ul Qari'a. Always it takes Al Hamza, Fatha. Like Alhamdulillah, Alladhina. So all of them Alif. Doesn't matter if the harf or letter after Lam is Shamsiya or Qamariya. So you say Hamza Lam Fatha, Al, Qaf Alif Fatha, Qa, Ra Kasra, Ri. You see that? Let me make it bigger. Hamza Lam Fatha, Al, Qaf Alif Fatha, Qa, Ra Kasra, Ri, Ain Fatha, A, Ta, Dama, Tu. Al, Qa, Ri, A, Tu. Al, Qari'atu. Al Qari'atu. And then there is a one important thing over here. So if you stop on this Al Qari'atu, or this tu, ta'i marbut, or round ta, turns to ha. When you stop, you say Al Qari'ah. Al Qari'ah. See this, I turn this ta to ha. But if I read two ayah in a row, I do not change this ta marbut to ha. I say Al Qari'atu mal Qari'ah. See? Al Qari'atu mal Qari'ah. So since I stopped over here, I turn this to sukun and also ha. Al Qari'ah mal Qari'ah. But both Al Qari'atu mal Qari'ah. And this is the same thing, but you see over here, this kind of writing is in countries which are non-Arabic, or non-Arabic countries write it like this. This in Pakistan, Afghanistan, maybe Tajikistan, maybe some other countries. So always they think that this is Alif, but this is not Alif, this is Hamza, because Alif is this one. So Alif never accept Fatha Kasra Dhamma. You see this Alif? Al Qari'a, but the sound is exactly the same. Al Qari'ah. And then Mal Qari'ah. Mal Qari'ah. And then after that, Waw Fatha Wa, Mim Alif Mat Fatha. Mim Alif Mat Fatha, Ma Hamza. This is Hamza, not Alif. Hamza Dal Fatha, Ad. Ra Alif Fatha, Ra. Ka Fatha, Ka. Mim Lam Fatha, Mal. Qaf Alif Fatha, Qa. Ra Kasra, Ri. Ain Fatha, A. Ta Dhamma, Tu. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الْقَارِعَةُ. So you can read it in different tones. So in the Quran Sharif, which are printed in Arabic countries, is like this. This is from Uthman Taha. Waw Fatha Wa, Mim Alif Mat Fatha, Ma. Hamza Dal Fatha, Ad. Ra Alif Fatha, Ra. Ka Fatha, Ka. Mim Lam Fatha, Mal. Qaf Alif Fatha, Qa. را كسرة ري عين فتحة ع تا ضمة تو تا ضمة ضمة تو وما أدراك وما أدراك ما القارعة. And then we have يوم يا واو فتحة يو ميم فتحة ما يوم يا فتحة يا كاف واو ضمة كو نون نون ضمة نون نون ألف فتحة نا سين ضمة سو كاف لام فتحة كل فا فتحة فا را ألف فتحة را شين لام كسرة شل ميم با فتحة مب ثا واو ضمة ثو ثا كسرة ثي يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. When we stop, we stretch it. Thuth. And when I'm done, then inshallah I will explain the tajweed rules. يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. And how we see it in Quran Sharifs which are printed in non-Arabic countries like this. Ya waw fatha yaw mim fatha ma yawma ya fatha ya kaf waw dhamma ku not ku. If we say ku then we miss waw. Ku two haraka ku nun nun dhamma nun nun alif fatha na sin dhamma su kaf lam fatha kal fa fatha fa ra alif fatha ra shin lam kasra shil mim ba fatha mab tha waw dhamma su tha kasra thi. So let's inshallah pick up the phone first. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, brother? Brother or sister?
Sister
Oh, sister. What's your name, sister?
Zara,
Sister Zahra. Where are you calling from?
Texas.
Texas. Okay, welcome to your own program, alhamdulillah. So, do you want to recite any surah or what you want to say?
Yes, I want to recite Surah Al-Qari'ah.
Oh, the same surah? Alhamdulillah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will put, inshallah, I will show the verses one by one, and Sister Zahra, inshallah, will read for us, okay? Do you want me to put this Quran Sharif, the Quran Sharifs which are printed in Arabic countries or non-Arabic countries?
Arabic countries.
Okay. Okay, sister. Go ahead, inshallah. أعوذ بالله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. القارعة. ما القارعة؟ وما أدراك ما القارعة؟ يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار حامية صدق الله العلي العظيم.
صدق الله العلي العظيم. Thank you, sister. Jazakallah khair. Beautiful, alhamdulillah wal minna. This is your own program. Always call, inshallah, Sister Zahra, okay?
Okay.
From Texas. Allah Hafiz. It was very good. You read with Tajweed rules. So inshallah Rahman, keep watching. There are some more inshallah Rahman rules. Then inshallah, maybe next time you call me and read it again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sister. Allah Hafiz. Thank you. Okay, so this was Surah Al-Qari'ah. I don't know, somehow two ayah of Surah Al-Qari'ah disappeared. Unfortunately, I don't know why it disappeared, but inshallah Rahman, hopefully I can get it back. Okay. Okay, let's inshallah go to Yawma. And Sister Zahra read very good, alhamdulillah. He followed most of the Tajweed rules. So over here, inshallah, after I'm done, I will explain the Tajweed rules. So meanwhile, if anybody who wants to call, you're welcome, inshallah. Call and recite for us Surah Al-Qari'ah. Today we are going through Surah Al-Qari'ah. So we are right here. واو فتحة وا تا فتحة تا كاف واو ضمة كو نون لام ضمة نل جيم كسرة جي با ألف فتحة با لام ضمة لو كاف لام فتحة كل عين ها كسرة نون لام كسرة نل ميم نون فتحة من فا واو ضمة فو شين كسرة شي وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش. So وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش is in Arabic, in non-Arabic countries like this. واو فتحة وا تا فتحة تا كاف واو ضمة كو نون لام ضمة نل جيم كسرة جي با ألف فتحة با لام ضمة لو كاف لام فتحة كل عين ها كسرة نون لام كسرة نل ميم نون فتحة من فا واو ضمة فو شين كسرة شي وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش. Then فأما من ثقلت موازينه. This one. فا فتحة فا حمزة ميم فتحة أم ميم ألف فتحة ما ميم نون فتحة من ثا فتحة ثا قاف ضمة قو لام تا فتحة لت ميم فتحة ما واو ألف فتحة وا زا يا كسرة زي نون ضمة نو ها ضمة طويل ضمة هو. فأما من ثقلت موازينه or موازينه if we stop. فأما من ثقلت موازينه فأما من ثقلت موازينه. So it is exactly like this. So why this is color coded? Because in this cards you can see the tajweed rules. فا فتحة فا حمزة ميم فتحة أم ميم ألف فتحة ما فأما ميم نون فتحة من ثا فتحة ثا قاف ضمة قو لام ألف لام تا فتحة لت میم فتحه ما، واو الف فتحه وا، زا یا کسره زی، نون دمه نو، ها دمه طویل دمه هو. فاما من ثقلت موازینه. So فهو في عيشة راضية. فا فتحة فا، ها ضمه، واو فتحة وا، فا یا کسره فی، عین یا کسره عی، شین فتحة شا، تا را تنوین الکسره تر، را الف فتحة را، ضاد کسره ضی، یا فتحة یا، تا تنوین الکسره تن. فهو في عيشة راضية. And it is like this. فهو في عيشة راضية. فا فتحة فا، ها ضمه، واو فتحة وا، فا یا کسره فی، عین یا کسره عی، شین فتحه شا، تا را تنوین الکسره تر، را الف فتحه را، ضاد کسره ضی، یا فتحه یا، تا راوند تا this is تای مربوط تنوین الکسره تن. But when you stop it turns to ها. فهو في عيشة راضية. So then وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. So this one. وَأَمَّا واو فتحة وا، همزة ميم فتحة أم، ميم ألف فتحة ما، ميم نون فتحة من، خا فا فتحة خف، فا تا فتحة فت. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ، ميم فتحة ما، واو ألف فتحة وا، زا یا کسره زی، نون دمه نو، ها طویل دمه هو. و اما من خفت موازینه. و اما من خفت موازینه فأمه هاوية. فا فتحة فا، همزة ميم ضمة فأم، ميم ضمة مو، ها طويل ضمة هو، ها ألف فتحة ها، واو كسرة وي، يا فتحة يا، طاء مربوط تنوين الضمة تن. فأمه هاوية. So وما أدراك ما هي. واو فتحة و، ميم ألف مد فتحة ما، همزة دال فتحة أد، را ألف فتحة را، ك فتحة ك، ميم ألف فتحة ما، ها كسرة هي يا، ها فتحة يه. وما أدراك ما هي. ما هي نار حامية. نون ألف فتحة نا، را طويل دمة رن، حاء ألف فتحة حاء، ميم كسرة مي، يا فتحة يا، تا طويل دمة تن. نار excuse me، نار حامية. So now inshallah ar-Rahman we come to the tajweed rules, and you will see the different. So in Al-Qari'ah, as you see, there is no color coded. This is accidentally somehow this is colored, but this is not the tajweed rule. Al-Qari'ah, only when you stop you turn this to sukun. السلام عليكم.
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। मौलाना कैसे हैं मौलाना?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आप कैसे थे? ठीक ठाक इंशाल्लाह।
ज़हीरुल हसन नहीं है उधर।
वो है लेकिन मेरे ख्याल में वो ऑफिस में है जी।
अच्छा मैं उधर कर लेती हूँ।
इंशाल्लाह ऑफिस में कॉल। हाँ जी ऑफिस में कॉल कीजिए। ठीक है जी। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
जी खुदा हाफ़िज़।
अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
Okay. So, al-qari'. Then we have mal-qari'ah. Mal-qari'ah. Mim, lam fatha, mal, qaf alif fatha, qa. So the same rule, only with ta'i marbut. Mal, qari'ah. Al-qari'ah, mal, qari'ah. Wama adraka mal, qari'ah. So over here you see we have mad munfasil over here. We have mad munfasil or mad qasir. Wama ad. Ad, this dal is qalqala. So let me inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
How are you, brother or sister?
Sister.
Oh, sister. What is your name, sister?
Sakina.
Sister Sakina. And where are you calling from?
I am calling from Texas, Katy.
So, subhanallah, from Texas. Okay, sister Sakina. Sakina and sister Zahra called before you.
Excuse me, I would like to read Surah Nas.
Surah Nas?
Yes.
Okay, why not, sister? Okay, just give me 1 second, inshallah. I will put Surah Nas for you one by one, and then, inshallah Rahman, you recite it for us, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, give me a second, inshallah Rahman. I can put Surah Nas for you, inshallah. Sister Sakina. Okay. Okay. I got it, sister. Okay. So when you see when you see on the screen the ayah, then recite it for us. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, sister. أعوذ بالله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It was very good, sister Sakina. Good job, alhamdulillah. Okay, Jazakillah khair. Always call, inshallah, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, this is your own program, inshallah. Every Friday we have this program from 2:30 to 3:30, okay? So, inshallah Rahman, you can practice.
Can you upload on YouTube
Inshallah
the
Rahman.
program?
Yeah, for sure, inshallah Rahman. No problem, okay?
Good office.
Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, my respected brothers and sisters, so we are in يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. يوم يكون الناس. You see, this noon is غنة. يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. So, how many tajweed rules? One, when you say يوم يكون الناس, this nas is not nas. because noon is حرف استفال. So we say ناس ناس. يوم يكون الناس ناس كالفراء. والتفخيم you read this. را شل مب, and this is قلقلة. So قطب جد is قاف طا با جيم دال. When you see these 5 letters, قطب جد, قاف طا با جيم دال, any of them has like this sukun or shadda, you would have qalqala. If this one is in the middle part, it is qalqala sughra, small qalqala. If it is in the end, like hajj, that one is kubra qalqala or big qalqala, huge qalqala, big qalqala. So يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. So over here is qalqala. You make a jerking sound. Mab, you move it in its makhraj, in its place. Mabthuth, and then we have made or is a sukoon over here. So made or is a sukoon. If we have waw over here, the letter before waw has a dhamma, and the letter after waw we turn it to sukoon. So sukoon aridhi or sukoon mat appears. So inshallah rahman, while I'm explaining, anybody can call inshallah, like Sister Sakina and also Sister Zahra. So inshallah rahman, whatever surah you would like to recite, inshallah you're welcome. So you see the number on the screen, 925-523-3766. Inshallah you can call. So these was the tajweed rules. So then after that you see وَتَكُونُ الْجِبَالُ كَالْأَهْنِ الْمَنْفُوشِ. We stretch this noon because fa is one of the huruf ikhfa. So manfush, and then again you see waw, and the letter before waw, which is fa, has a dhamma, and when you stop, this she turns to sukun. So this becomes sakin. So kal ihnil manfush. وَتَكُونُ الْجِبَالُ كَالْعِهْنِ الْمَنْفُوشِ. منفوش. And then فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. Over here, anytime you see mim or noon, mim or noon, like Sister Sakina read this one, minal jinnati wan nas. So we have to stretch this noon 2 second duration, 2 haraka, and also this noon. See, anywhere we see noon with shadda and also mim with shadda, like this, we stretch it 2 second duration or 2 haraka. فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. So man, because after noon, tha came, and tha is one of the huruf ikhfa. So how we memorize, or how we could memorize, or what is the easiest way to memorize these 15 letters of ikhfa, I show you the trick. So memorize huruf halqi, which is hamza, ha, kha, ain, ghain, ha. Huruf halqi, hamza, ha, kha, ain, ghain, ha. And then memorize yarmalun, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, nun. yarmalun. And I'm sure you memorized it right now. Yarmalun. Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Nun. And then for iqla, Ba. So what happens? If you memorize huruf halqi, which is Hamza, Ha, Kha, Ain, Ghain, Ha, anytime after Noon Sakin or Tanween al-Fatha, Tanween al-Kasra, Tanween al-Dama, or Urdu mein kya kehte hai, do zabar, do zer, do pesh. So after Noon Sakin or Noon with Jazm, right? Noon Sakin. Or do Fatha, do zabar, do Kasra. Do zabar, do zabar, do zer, do Fatha. Tanween al-Fatha, Tanween al-Kasra, Tanween al-Dama. If one of the huruf halqi comes, Ha comes, or Ha comes, or Kha comes, or Ain comes, or Ghain, or Ha, you do not stretch it. For example, An'amta. An'amta, since after Noon is Ain, you do not say An'amta. It is wrong. It is incorrect. You say An'amta alayhim because of that. So this was for huruf halqi. If one of the huruf halqi comes, once again, Hamza, Ha, Kha, Ain, Ghain, Ha, you do not stretch the Noon or Tanweens. But for Yarmalun, Ya, Ra, Mim, Lam, Waw, Nun, two of them are called idgham naqis. And in this Quran Sharif, the Quran Sharif which we have it in online, so they didn't put shadda on the top of Waw and Ya. So when you recite it, you have to put it. Like Tabbat Yada Abi Lahabin, Waw doesn't have shadda, so we put it. We say Tabbat Yada Abi Lahabin wa Tab, and we stretch it 3-second duration. Tabbat Yada Abi Lahabin wa Tab. So, and Yarmalun, Waw, Ya is idgham naqis, and other 6 letters, which is Mim, Noon, Ra, Lam, are idgham kamil. So it means when I say you see, still I am pronouncing half of Noon in my nose. The same thing, Ya. Famay ya'mal. Famay ya'mal. Still I pronounce Noon. But for Ra, mir rabbihim. Mir rabbihim. The Noon enters to Ra and disappears. Mir rabbihim. Mallam. Mallam. Noon enter to Lam. So, and 2 letters of Yarmalun are called Ghunna, non-Ghunna, and 4 of them are Ghunna. It means when Ra or Lam comes after Noon Sakin and Tanweens, you do not stretch it. You do not say Mir Rabbihim, you say Mir Rabbihim. Or Mallam, you don't stretch. But those other 4, if there is Mim, Noon, Waw, Ya, you stretch it. Like I did, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرٍ. So, this was Surah Al-Qari'ah. So, then I think we don't have enough time. So, inshallah Rahman, what I'm going to do, next week, inshallah, I will go through only tajweed rules, inshallah, and then I request from Sister Sakina and Sister Zahra to call to, and also call your relatives, inshallah Rahman. Okay, call your friends, your cousins, inshallah ar-Rahman, and let them know that we have Quranic studies. And even you can email me your pictures, so we can put it, inshallah ar-Rahman, on the screen. It is up to you if you would like to. But if you don't want to, that's okay with us. But if you would like to send your pictures while you're reciting the Holy Quran, we can put your, inshallah, picture over here, and people, brothers and sisters, can see you and they know who is reciting. So it makes the program more interesting, inshallah ar-Rahman, and encourages other your brothers and sisters to participate. So the intention of me, or my intention, is to just help, inshallah ar-Rahman, each other, and we learn Quran Sharif in a right way, inshallah ar-Rahman. And this was today's program. We are done. And you can send your picture if you would like to mushrif01@yahoo.com, and I can receive it. So just pray for all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. And look at Mushrif, MOSHREF @Valaya TV, or you can email it to me, mushrif01@yahoo.com. mushrif01@yahoo.com. So this was today's program, and please sincerely ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give permission to our beloved Imam al-Zaman alayhi salatu wasalam, and inshallah ar-Rahman, help all of us, all the world, from this situations that we are in today. Allahumma ajil liwalika al-faraj, Allahumma ajil liwalika al-faraj, Allahumma ajil liwalika al-faraj. Until next week, inshallah ar-Rahman, may Allah bless you. See you inshallah next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.